People say, oh, what if you need to get it off? I'm not bothered about getting it off. I'm fitting it out of your crap pots. If I were getting it off, we'd be defeating the object, wouldn't we? And if you do need to get it off, all you have to do is unscrew that bolt, twist that fitting, and it'll just twist off. Very easy. Simple. Just don't get silicone all over you. Then we move on to the waist. Now the waist, check, see if that rubber fits, because that rubber's quite a nice rubber there. But sometimes the inlet of the bath, it don't fit on it and it leaves it sat up too much, and then all the crap gets into that little groove. So sometimes you need to make your own rubber. So we'll have a look first. Right, beautiful. Lovely is that. So it sits flat with that rubber. So with this, bit of silicone around that edge. I'm using white today, only because I've got tons of it. Beautiful lights. Wipe all your silicone off it and then you won't get it in the bath.
So good.
Lovely. Silicone around that. So last thing you want to be doing is putting this in and then water coming through back. Rubber on the waist there. Silicone it first. This panel's getting tiled in. You're never ever going to get to this bath. Make sure it's all hunky dory. Wipe it off the inside. You don't want it on the inside rim. Plenty of silicone on top of it now. You don't even need that rubber, to be honest. You could make your own rubber out of silicone. But my mates think I'm silicone mad. Call me silicone Mick.
He's just straight up silicone.
But I never go back to another job. I never go back to a job. So who's laughing? And then this is where it's vital, you make sure that's in centre. When you get to this stage, you want to make sure that this plugs in centre. So I like stuff equal gap round it, keep tightening it, pulls down, pulls flat. That's it. Then once you got into that, use your key, and see if you can give it a cat's nads. Can't give it a cat's nads. Cat's nads will do. And then clear your silicone. Wipe it all the way around, make sure it's in every single groove. Beautiful. Then what I'm going to do with this, because we're tiling this panel, and there's no way I'm going to take any risk with this. Any. Mark your fitting like that. There's my knife. Grab my knife. Now people say, oh, you don't have to do that, you don't have to do that. I've just come to this bathroom, I took this bath out, did you see the state of it underneath it? Now it could have been leaking from the tap, it could have been leaking from the waste, it could have been leaking from a pipe. Who knows? But chances are, it were only leaking when they were using it or draining it. So chances are it was from the waste. Now if they would have sealed it all like this, it wouldn't have been from the waste, would it? I mean, so get that on there, make sure that's alright, trim that inside edge so it'll fit in, because there's like a little groove in that. And then put your rubber on, and then see that rim there, Lee, just show them that rim. Just show them that rim. That rim there, I'm going to put silicone in it and then I'm going to push my pipe in, so it's not on the inside, it's on the outside. So I'm going to put it on the inside there like that. And then when I push my pipe in, that's going to seal that. This is like it's being on a submarine. Beautiful. Just tighten that up, and then again I'm going to seal all the outlet. It's only like doing when you're building a sink up, you seal the waste. Seal that. Might not look pretty this, but don't need to look pretty, it needs to work.
Alright Chris, are you on that job? Are you on that job? Is anyone there?
Make sure every hole's covered.
Alright, I'm going to put them lights up.
And that's it, beautiful. And that's how you guarantee a waste is never going to leak.
Alright.
It's never ever going to leak off that bath. And with movement and that, it's not going to be able to move either. Beautiful. And the McAlpine waste, you can't go wrong. They never fail. We've got a nice lip on it for the trap. So the trap, when you screw the trap on, it'll be nice. Even the trap I'm going to tape. I'll tape that with PTFE tape before I put the trap on, because once the bath's tiled, you're never going to get to it. So do everything possible if you're tiling bathing. Everything possible. I wouldn't normally tape a bath waste, but this, I'm going to tape it just to be sure. So now what I'm doing, I put some blocks in for the panel, make sure that they're fastened and they can't move. Because if that's moving, bath's going to move, innit? Do you know what I mean? So make sure they're nice, screwed in, flat, always flat. This, can you see why I've used this thinner panel now? Because bath wouldn't have gone back there. That would have been too much if you would have put a bigger panel. And I don't always put a panel in. Sometimes I just brace them. Depends what the bath's like. If the bath's a bit flimsy, I just put a little rail on it just to help it. Then what I do before I put this bath in, I'm going to stick it in as well. Going to stick it in. Plenty of silicone right along that seal. We don't need to go right up there. Right along that seal. Then I'm going to lift the bath in. I'm going to lift the bath in, the bath's going to sit on that. And then I don't want it too much on the wall because I don't want it pushing it off the wall. And then once I get it on, it'll squash into it. And once that sticks like no tomorrow. When you have to pull so when we have to set that bath out in 50 years, they'll have to rip that bath out, it'll get ripped. That's how well it'll be in. And that's what you want. Now, I'm just going to lift the bath in. And the bath's going to be square. Always watch your back. On a bathing like that, the blocks of wood are already underneath. Then because we've got a gap, we can slide it out left to right. Oh, you can feel it. You can feel it attaching. And then what you want to do, silicone along this edge, otherwise they'll end up squeaking the bath. And when it squeaks, does your head in. I already know where my line is. Plenty in the corner. Odd bit down there. Odd bit there. Odd bit there. Look at that, Marcus. And then you slot in like that. Just have to put everything on all. Because main man's here now. So I'll show you rest in a minute. We get underneath this bath. Bit tight. Use a bracket there. So with these, you have to drill. Don't drill them too much. Otherwise you're just going to split the wood. Unless you use a different screw, but I'm just using the screws that I got supplied. We'll do whatever we need to do.
Pushing down on it.
Let me get a couple of screws. And all we need straight into it like that. And a bigger screw straight into the breeze wall. Beautiful. You felt the bath pulling there. And that's what you want. Make sure it's all level. Make sure you screw the leg in. Make sure you bolt them in. Because if people don't bolt them in, there's movement. It moves. So there's no movement there, no movement there, no movement there. That's bolted in at top, can't go down. Tighten that up so it's solid. That wants to be solid. Never leave them loose. Job's a good one.